Hi everybody. I hope you don't mind. I am going to film a video while I am matching socks. Today is our last day of summer vacation. School and work start for us tomorrow. I got so much. I gotta move my pillows off my bed so I can lay some socks. But basically, I figured I could chit chat with you while I am folding socks, because I feel like I'm really never going to have any more time, especially today, since I'm doing all this these last minute details to get ready to go back to work tomorrow. Let's see. I don't even know where to start. Okay, so my name is Dory. I am 51 years old. I am 5'4" tall, and on September 12th of 2016, which is, like 13 days away, I will be 7 years post-op from vertical sleeve gastrectomy, weight loss surgery. My highest recorded weight ever was 350 pounds. My day of surgery weight was 300.5. Before I started Wegovy, the lowest I saw on the scale was 156.3. But then I didn't stay there for very long, and I actually went in the 160s and 170s for like 3 years, like long time, like 3 consecutive years. And that was fine. I was happy, healthy. Of course, body dysmorphia still was a problem, because I think we all go through it. It probably took me a very long time before I didn't have that affecting me. Probably 5 years, probably a good first 5 years. So the last couple years, I don't have body dysmorphia anymore. In October of 2022, this past October, I had went to the doctors and I weighed 182. Which isn't a huge amount, but it was enough that I said I needed to kind of do something about it before I ended up going up anymore. I know I hear a lot of people in our community who wished that they would have stopped the regain, when they only had 10, 20 pounds to go. So that way they didn't kind of get sidetracked and have that, have the regain stick around or get worse as time went on. So that's what I did. I spoke to my doctor at that time about a weight loss. Well, at the time I thought it was weight loss medication called Mounjaro. And I actually found out that Mounjaro is actually not a weight loss medication. It was actually a type 2 diabetic medication. And so we discussed the other alternative was something called Wegovy. And at the time, Wegovy was actually on back order pretty much everywhere. And so we had talked in length about starting something called Saxenda, which is a once daily injection for weight loss. And so we discussed that. I decided to go on that while I was waiting for Wegovy to come back into stock. So I started at 182. I started Saxenda right away. It was October 13th, or no, October 12th, I think it was. But in any event, I lost, I got down to like 168, I want to say. Yeah, 68, 78. Yeah, maybe 68, 65, somewhere around there. And that was good. And then January 13th, because it was Friday the 13th, I remember, January 13th is when I started Wegovy. Wegovy is once a week instead of daily, which I really liked. And since then, I have gotten down to 142 pounds. I had been maintaining 144 for the past couple months, and or maybe about the last month. I recently just came back from vacation. I took a vacation to North Carolina to see my in-laws. We drove down there because we bought a newer car. We got a 2018 Toyota Highlander, all-wheel drive plus, I believe it's called. And so because we had a vehicle that was in amazing condition, we were able to make the long trip. We ended up leaving 2 Sundays ago, early in the morning, and we stopped off in Washington, D.C., stayed at a hotel there. The first hotel was horrible. We checked out right away. They gave us a refund, thankfully, because it was just gross. It was smelly, gross. The guy did not seem any, shocked at the fact that we wanted to leave. I'm sure everybody who gets there, who's traveling out of town, gets there and wants to leave. So they refunded our money and we went to a really nice hotel. And so that was great. We stayed over there and then the next morning got ready to head down to North Carolina. We were in North Carolina from Monday through Saturday, left early Saturday morning and headed back to the DC area. We ended up in Alexandria, Virginia, Old Town. We stayed at the Embassy Suites by Hilton. It was an amazing hotel. Loved it. Had a hot tub, a pool. The kids had fun. That is probably going to be our go-to hotel moving forward. Whenever we go on vacation or go visit the in-laws, that's probably where we will be staying. But anyway, so all that to say that when I got back from vacation this past Sunday, which is 3 days ago, I stepped on the scale the next morning, which was Monday morning, and I had gained 6 pounds, which obviously I didn't really gain 6 pounds, but 6 pounds is what my body was retaining, probably because of the long drive. I'm the primary driver. I'm the only driver who drives. My husband's not good at driving long distance. So I drive to keep us safe. And so anyhow, so yeah, so I saw that I was up 6 pounds, but as of today, which is only 2 days later, I'm down almost 3. So I knew that it wasn't that I was, going crazy off the rails and eating, crazy. It was just that all of the driving, all of the sitting, not drinking a lot of water because I didn't want to make a lot of stops at the rest areas, that kind of came into play. So anyhow, so yeah, so that's really, when we were there, my in-laws were amazing, hospitable as always, and they took us out to many restaurants, many fun things that we did, and so, that's probably where some of the weight gain or the stuff had happened, because I'm not used to eating, 3 times a day or whatever, and so every time I'd go to a restaurant, I'd order a little something, and so it ended up being where it was, a little bit too much. And so I recognize that. I know that it's not something that is a habit or built into me because I don't normally do it on a regular basis. But it was great. It was really fun. I am going back to work tomorrow. I don't really feel like I had that much of a summer vacation, because 2 of my kids were in summer school for the month of July. So I had to take them to school, get ready, have school clothes ready and all that. So for that month of July, I don't really count that as vacation because I was still kind of in school mode, which really, really stinks. But I am excited that the kids are going back. They are driving me crazy. Of course, I would prefer to win the lottery and stay home all day while they're at school, but instead I will be at school as well. I am a special needs para for a preschool in my city, right down the street from my house. Very convenient. Does not take me long to get there whatsoever. Probably takes 8 minutes or so, probably 5 to 8 minutes. Nothing crazy. And so, yeah, so that's what we're doing tomorrow. So today is more about making sure we have all our ducks in a row, my clothes laid out for the week, which I always do. We only really have Thursday and Friday. We start school on Thursday, and then we start school on Thursday, and then we work Friday, and then we're off Monday, the weekend, and then Monday for the Labor Day holiday. And then our kids at our school don't start till next Thursday. So we have a week without the kids, but we have trainings to do and things like that that we will be having to, get done. So we definitely won't be bored. We have to get our classrooms together, do some training, do some activities, have meetings, and all of that jazz. So it's definitely, I'm excited to go back. I won't lie. I do like where I work. I do like the people. I definitely, a good friend of mine, Erin, will not be returning this year. She is going to be getting another job somewhere else. And so I'm going to totally miss seeing her. She's a good egg. She's a hard worker. And yeah, so I'll miss her. I know she's probably going to watch this because she supports my channel and watches it and is a fellow bariatric babe. So yeah, but yeah, so I'm excited. The kids, I'm a little nervous for some of the kids. Two of the kids are going into 7th grade. One is going into 10th. And then my youngest is going into 4th. The 4th grader, I'm not too worried about. She has more of a whining problem, if I can say, like immature, kind of whiny, baby-ish thing. But my other kids are all on medication for autism or ADHD or bipolar. One of my daughters is recently diagnosed bipolar. And so that is it's kind of uncharted territory at the moment, but I'm sure that we will navigate it, I'm always an advocate for my children. So I'm sure we're going to navigate that together and it will be fine. Medication is already in her body and able to work the way that it's supposed to. So what am I eating like when I'm home? I definitely like to have the Starbucks egg bites. I get them from Costco. Those are super easy to throw in the microwave. They're super delicious. So that's what I like to have when I am home. What else? I like to have meat. I have to figure out what I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow at work because I haven't had to meal prep really for myself since I've been home for the summer because it's not something that I really have thought about doing. And so I do have to think about it now. So I don't know. I may do rice, chicken. I may do, I think what else I have. I have like some homemade mac and cheese I just have to cook. Yeah, so I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to make for meal prep, but I figured I'd come in just for a quick update on how life is doing, how vacation went before I get into the full mode of school and work. So I wanted to kind of just take some downtime so I'm not in a rush. Yeah, if you guys have any questions for me, like I said, it's just coming to the point where I'm able to not have the body dysmorphia, not able not to have all the, I don't even know what you'd call it, just the kind of like where your brain really doesn't wrap around the fact that you're thin now. I know I'm super thin. Some days I am, I feel like I'm too thin. Other days I just feel right. Another update on my skin removal surgery. Unfortunately, I was denied once. I was denied for another appeal, and then I was denied for a second appeal. The only thing I'm left is I am left with one more appeal. Basically, they want the doctor to use medical terms to tell them like why it's medically necessary. And when I called my surgeon's office, the receptionist I spoke to said, well, he already did that. He already put it in there. He's not going to do that again. I tend to think that he would do it again, but of course, you know, I have to go through her. So at this point, that's kind of going to be on hold. I did contact a skin removal surgeon by the name of Alex Galvez, and he's in Mexico. I know that's kind of shocking to some people that I would even consider going to Mexico for surgery, but Alex Galvez is actually an amazing surgeon. I know at least 7, 8 people who have went there and had surgery, and it's an amazing place. I know a friend of mine, if I asked her to go and paid for her airfare or whatever, I know that she would go with me. She speaks Spanish. She would, which you really don't even need to speak Spanish, as all my friends don't speak Spanish. And although they brought people there with them to interpret, Dr. Galvez's staff is amazing, and they didn't even need the people. But I know I would bring my friend Kristen probably, and then I would probably stay at her house in San Antonio, Texas, recovering. And of course, that's something that I'm thinking of. So I am going to send him a request for a consultation, which he'll just do on Zoom. I basically know what I want done and stuff. I do know also that my surgeon did quote me. They at least quoted me their price just so I would know if I wanted to pay cash, apparently. But for the full tummy tuck and having my breasts lifted, just lifted, nothing else to them, put them where they belong, it would be $10,100. That, of course, is just the surgeon and anesthesia. So that's not including my hospital stay or, you know, pain meds after and things like that, which you guys know, I mean, it would run probably in the, you know, $50,000 to $75,000 range for that. So those are really my options for now. I really did want to have the tummy tuck. I really was looking forward to that. Tummy and arms probably are my 2 biggest things that I would like to have done. But of course, I can only do what I can only do. And unless I win the lottery, you know, it's not really something that, you know, I would be able to afford, you know, with having a family and not wanting to go into any more debt. You know, but in any event, I guess I matched as many pairs of socks as I can match. Let me stand up. I actually haven't stood up for you guys for a while. Ugh, this is unplanned, so don't mind if it's not. Let's see. Let me put it down a little bit more. All right. I don't know if that will work. I really don't know how far back I can go. So yeah, I have, you know, not too bad. This like really needs to be lifted. Like if I could, I'd lift all this. All this is like, I don't know, it's like gravity. This all should be super lifted, like high up. You know, I have, yeah, I don't know. It's fine. Then I do have a lot on my arms that I would love to get rid of. He did, you know, my surgeon did, you know, tell me he would do it all the way down here, make the incision. He would go here and then, you know, fold over. He said basically it would kind of look like this, you know. So yeah, so I do have a lot on my arms. My stomach, I don't know if I've ever showed you my stomach, but, you know, it's like anybody else's hanging stomach. I got a lot just, you know, hanging there. This is all just stomach. I know my surgeon said he'd go in once he, you know, cut all this off all the way to my hip bone. This is my hip bone sticking out. He would do some liposuction back here. Not too much, but yeah, so this is, you know, this is what I'm working with. It tucks in pretty well, but, you know, I definitely would like to have that gone. But yeah, that's really what I'm looking at. My legs are a whole new story, whole nother story. But I mean, I'm just happy I'm thin. I'm happy that I'm not gonna have to worry too much about, you know, health concerns and things of that nature. But listen, prayerfully, I can get the surgery. If not, I'm still proud of where I am, and I guess I'll have to get more Lycra. But until next time, guys, you have a wonderful school year, work, whatever you're at for this year.